Job barely understands what's going on, but finally, Job gets pissed off and he rails at God. This part of what I love about Job. Job pissed off, yelling at God. I can only imagine what it was really like for Job if Job really existed. But
One of my core beliefs about the great mystery, about God, Tunkashla, the Creator. When it comes to core beliefs, I really only have one. That the great mystery exists. I've given up trying to understand the intelligence behind everything. I don't hold the Creator to standards anymore because the Creator isn't human. I don't place the Creator in places I feel that the Creator should be, helping with good hands or protecting people, because sometimes, a lot of times, that don't happen. But there's a larger plan at play where minuscule pieces of dust, we are one piece of grain of dirt on this earth, in this universe, in this great planet that I'll never understand. A giant mystery. It's my core belief. My core beliefs about the great mystery are more beliefs for myself. I must adhere to the King of Kings. I must obey the commander of all commanders. I must continue with the mission until I'm told otherwise.
once again, I go to Job. For those of you who don't remember the story of Job, Job was the righteous man. God had rewarded him greatly, and Satan came to God and said, "Of course he's faithful and loyal. Look at how much you rewarded him." And basically, there was sort of a bet between Satan and God and God said, "You can't do anything. You can't kill him, but you can do whatever else you want to." And Job loses everything and loses all of his stature, loses all of his wealth, loses his whole family, ends up having boils all over his body. He's in pain, he's in suffering, and he's laying in the desert, and his friends keep coming to him trying to help, and they're no help at all because they don't understand what's going on. And Job barely understands what's going on, but finally, Job gets pissed off and he rails at God. This part of what I love about Job. Job pissed off, yelling at God. I can only imagine what it was really like for Job if Job really existed. But he rails at God, and God eventually shows up in a whirlwind. And Job says, "Why, God? Why are you doing this?" And it's like 5 or 7 pages in the Bible where God says stuff like, "Where were you, Job, when I laid the foundations of the earth? Where were you when I cast the stars in the sky? Where were you when I created life in the seas?" And of course, Job is like, "I'm nobody." And when God is done, Job lowers his head and he said, "Well, then I will be content that I am but dust and that you are my God." And so my core belief about God is fucking God. God is the is. God, all is God. Is. It's my other name for God is. There's the Shema, which is the foundation of the Jewish faith. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, which is Shema, O Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. That word echad translates as one, but in the original language of Hebrew, it means fulfillment, completion, totality, unity, oneness. So I think of the divine, the great mystery being echad, is one. All is one. We are one. We are an emanation of the divine. We flow from the divine. We flow to the divine. And it's part of our purpose, part of our job as human beings to understand that we are divine creatures.